Welcome to Inside the Vandals, a weekly show covering men's and women's basketball. Inside the Vandals is brought to you by the School of Journalism and Mass Media and by the Coeur d'Alene Casino, Hotel, Spa, and Resort.
Welcome to Inside the Vandals, brought to you by the Coeur d'Alene Casino, Hotel, and Resort. I'm Braden Kane.
And I'm Zach Kellogg.
Both the men and women playing Sac State this past Thursday. The men on the road. We'll get to that a little bit later on in the show, but the women played at home. Zach, how did that go for us?
Well, they got a huge win, 104-66 over the Hornets. Everything was really clicking on all cylinders for John Dooley and his squad. Our own Harrison Lashinger was there with the report, and he joins us now.
The Vandals had an incredible game right here in Cowan Spectrum tonight, beating the Sacramento State Hornets 104-66. The Vandals got off to a hot start, going on a 22-3 run to begin the game. The Hornets tried making a comeback in the second quarter, shooting over 30% better than the first quarter, but the Vandals kept applying the pressure, leading 57-31 at halftime. Michaela Ferenz, Gina Markson, and Taylor Pierce couldn't miss, shooting a combined 13 for 24 behind the arc and combining for 50 points. Guard Lizzie Klinker had a great game as well, shooting 7 for 11 from the field, scoring 15 points. This offensive performance is the best we've seen in over 2 seasons by the Vandals, tying a season-high 18 three-pointers today. The Vandals will take on Portland State today, who is 14-2 and first in the Big Sky.
And as you heard from Harrison, that team really firing on all cylinders, tying a school record for 18 threes in a game. They're really going to try and replicate that performance against Portland State here tonight in Cowan. I had the chance to catch up with head coach John Dooley to see how they're going to try and take down the top-ranked team in the Big Sky. Now joined by head coach John Dooley. Coach Dooley, thank you for joining us here today.
Yeah, good to be here.
So now looking ahead to Portland State, game here tonight in Cowan Spectrum. Portland State currently leading the conference and been playing very well offensively so far this season, and now in the midst of an impressive win streak. Now coming to Cowan, how much of a factor do you think momentum will play for the Vikings?
Well, we'll see. They've had a good year so far. They're a very veteran group. They're very long. You know, they start 6'4", 6'4", 6'2". They're huge. They're huge inside. They have a big long guard in Bolston, and they stick back in that zone and just try to take up space and make you shoot contested shots.
And usually we talk about a team's offensive weapons, but for Portland State, Courtney West just broke her single-game record for blocks in a game. Having that kind of shot blocker inside for the Vikings, do you think that'll have an impact on your offensive game plan?
She's a big kid, and if you get too close to her, you know, she's capable of doing that. We like to bring her out a little bit if we can. I mean, she plays the middle of that zone, so she doesn't go too far. But we got to be smart about when we attack her and when we don't.
Coach Dooley, thank you for joining us here, and best luck to you guys against the Vikings.
All right, thanks.
And now to take a closer look at Isabelle Hadden ahead of Portland State.
Leadership, a skill that is important for the foundation of any successful team. Junior forward Isabelle Hadden was not expecting to receive team captain honors coming into her 3rd season, but knew exactly what it would take for her to embrace a leadership role.
I think some of the just most important things is just building up all of your underclassmen and even the upperclassmen, just anyone who needs help. And maybe if they're struggling with their confidence or they just need like a pick-me-up, I think that's just super important because basketball is just such a game of confidence, and if you have that confidence, you can just perform really well on the court. So,
the moment Izzy stepped on Idaho's campus for a recruiting visit, she immediately felt right at home. And being a short 6 hours away from her parents and hometown of Boise only influenced her more to become a Vandal.
When I came on my recruiting visit, I really loved the coaches and I really got along with the girls. And then I also wanted to just be close to home. I live in Boise, so my parents are always able to come to a lot of games, and it's just really nice to be close to family but also have my own family up here.
After a successful first 2 seasons, Hadden's game started to see comparisons to a former Vandal basketball star, Alyssa Charleston. But simply living up to someone else's legacy is not something Izzy wants to be remembered by.
Yeah, I have been compared to Alyssa a lot. I mean, she was an amazing player, so it's nice to be compared to her, but I also just kind of want to create my own, not legacy, but just be my own player, not really be compared to someone, especially as great as her. So,
with the big expectations for the team coming into this year, The only thing that will validate this season for Hadden and her fellow senior captains, Michaela Ferenz and Taylor Pierce, is walking away champions of the Big Sky and earning that NCAA tournament bid.
Michaela and Taylor, they're two of our seniors. They're also the captains alongside me, and they just have so much experience. I mean, they won Big Sky tournament as a freshman, and now it's their senior year, so I know I personally and a lot of other girls are like, we want to win this. We want to win it for them so they can finish off their senior season as Big Sky champions. So,
for Inside the Vandals, I'm Braden Kane.
For centuries, we, the Coeur d'Alene tribe, have honored our resources as good stewards and our region as good neighbors. We've built a world-class casino resort hotel that supports hundreds of jobs, funds healthcare and other services, and has generated more than $33 million for education. Because we've been an integral part of this land for generations, and we will be for generations to come.
Last year, they played for the conference championship and came so close. This year, they're back and ready to finish. Join Idaho women's basketball on their 2019 journey to a Big Sky title. Don't miss 14 home games, including a challenging 10-game conference schedule. Season tickets start at just $60. Get yours today at govandals.com. 18-19 Vandal women's basketball, ready to finish.
Welcome back to Inside the Vandals, brought to you by the Coeur d'Alene Casino Hotel and Resort. And as you saw before the break, Isabelle Hadden, her leadership skills, so appreciated by the coaching staff and her teammates. She's going to be a huge part of this team going forward.
And also a very prestigious honors, earning that captain title in only her junior season. But we'll move on to the men now. They played on the road at Sac State this last Thursday, shot 38% compared to Sac State's 52%. They took a loss in that game, 69-48. Our own Micah Hamilton with the game wrap.
That's right, guys. The men were on the road against Sacramento State on Thursday night, trying to avoid a 4-game losing streak. The Vandals led early in this game, but that was quickly diminished by Sacramento State's 33-10 run in the final 15 minutes of the first half. The Vandals struggled shooting with 38% from the field, opposed to Sacramento State's 52%, and that proved to be the large difference in the game. The Vandals only managed to have one player in double digits, and that was Jared Rodriguez, who also led the team in rebounds and assists. The Vandals have averaged 71 points per game this year, but only managed to put up 48 against Sacramento State on Thursday night. The Vandals now move to 1-6 in conference and try to avoid a 5-game losing streak and look to get back on track tonight at Portland State. For Inside the Vandals, I'm Micah Hamilton.
Well, Zach, as you heard from Micah Hamilton, only one Vandal scoring double digits in that game. Really hard to pick up a win when you're getting that kind of production out of your team. But I had the chance to sit down with Coach Don Verlin earlier this week to discuss tonight's matchup against Portland State. Joined now by head coach Don Verlin. Coach, thank you for joining us on the show as always.
You're welcome.
So you got Portland State coming up. They play really well at home. They're averaging about 79 points a game on the season. They average about 86 at home. What do they do well offensively?
Well, actually it's their defense that gets their offense going. They're gonna pressure us 94 feet all 40 minutes tonight, and what they're gonna do is try to get you to turn the ball over so they can get in their transition game. And they've been very good at doing that at home, like you said, averaging 86 points a game.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the main keys just for your team that you were thinking are going to help you win that game?
Well, this is simple preparation. It's take care of your basketball, don't turn it over, keep them off the offensive glass because they're a great rebounding team. And then what we've got to do is get quality shots on goal. Easier said than done, but those are the 3 keys for tonight's game.
They're also 1-5 in conference. Once again, I don't feel like that really defines them at all, their record for this team. We also both got to see them play down in the Vandals, Vandal Hoops Holiday Classic. So just from seeing them a couple of times, do you feel like they've gotten better since then, or?
Yeah, like all teams have. They've gotten a lot better. They're still trying to figure out. They're a young team, a lot of new guys this year. I know it's a big game for them. Obviously where they're at in the standings, where we're at in the standings. So we expect a tough game tonight.
For sure. Well, that's all the questions I have for you today, Coach. Good luck against Portland State, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
We'll be back with Inside the Vandals.
It's getting cold out there, but it's getting hot in here. Because at Coeur d'Alene Casino, we're turning the heat up to 90,000. Play with your Core Rewards card now and earn entries to win a share of $30,000 in extra play cash on January 25th and 26th. Plus, qualify to win a share of $60,000 cash. It's getting hot with a cool 90 grand. Only at Coeur d'Alene Casino. See Core Rewards booth for details.
Well, Zach, let's hope the men can pick up a win, a much-needed win on the road tonight against Portland State.
And some big news coming outside of Idaho football. Our own Harrison Lashinger had the chance to catch up with interim athletic director Pete Isaacson.
I'm here with interim director Pete Isaacson. Pete, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good to hear. So just a few questions for you here today. The first one, first season in the Big Sky done for football. What does that mean for the community and the fans around the University of Idaho?
It was great for us to be in the Big Sky. It was great for us to be around our peers. And I think that you saw the excitement that we had for the Montana game. We had the largest crowd we've had for many years. And when you look at Montana State, you look at Idaho State, the places that we went on the road, they had sellouts and some of the largest crowds as well. Obviously, we would have liked to have a little better product on the field and had a chance to make the playoffs. But we learned a lot this year, and we're certainly going to be reloaded and ready to go next year.
It's good news to hear. Another question for you. So it's almost breaking news that Easton's going to be coming and playing right here in the Kibbe Dome this next year. What does that mean for the school?
I think that the big thing for us is that we get an extra home game. An extra home game is revenue. Right now, as everybody knows, we have a little bit of an issue with our budget, and it certainly helps us dig out of that a little bit more. It's another marquee game on our schedule so that our fans could come out, and with them being 60 miles away, it's ridiculous for us not to have them on our schedule. We wanted to make sure that they're on our schedule for not only our fans, but their fans who will probably travel to the game as well. And right now, it's the start of a pretty good rivalry that we're getting into, and we certainly didn't want to take a year off.
Awesome. And the last question I have for you, what is our status update for the new stadium that's going to be coming to the U of I?
We're sitting good. We go in front of the board in February, and with their approval, we'll have a chance to maybe start moving dirt at the end of April, weather depending. So one of the things that we're hoping for is a pretty light winter so that we have a chance to do that. But once the board approves our construction documents, we're looking to go. So we're very excited about that with the possibility, and not a possibility, we'll be in that building in 2021 for that season.
That's going to be a cool place to watch games. That's all we have for now. Guys, back to you.
Go Vandals.
And it's always nice having another rivalry game coming to the Kibbe Dome, especially in the Big Sky. And also great to have an update on that new basketball arena that could be coming soon.
Definitely should be exciting next season. And big news in swim and dive today as it was their senior day. Micah Hamilton and Emily Bernil with the story.
The University of Idaho women's swim and dive team has been led by 3 senior captains throughout the year.
My name is Lauren Botava, and I'm from Rockland, California.
My name's Sarah. I'm from Victoria, BC.
My name's Janelle Lucas, and I'm from Mission Viejo, California.
These 3 have called Moscow home for the past 4 years and have also played a vital role in why this senior class is so special.
Our senior class is definitely unique in one word. We're very different. We all have really strong personalities, but we've made it work the past 4 years, and I think this year especially has really been like the make or break year, and making that decision that we're a senior class and we need to step up and do this together and lead the team has really helped us.
I think we've really learned to really come together and know that it takes like a whole team to perform well. It's not just a singularity type performances. When everyone's swimming well and everyone's swimming fast and training well, it really shows in meets when we're working well together.
Despite sharing the same pool, the divers have made their own mark this year with 2 seniors leading the way.
I am extremely proud to have the dive team that I have right now. We're small in number, but we're mighty. And I think that we do a good job with it, despite not having the chunk of numbers that we have had in the past.
With 11 seniors on the roster, these Vandals hope to end their careers on a high note with the conference championship right around the corner. For Inside the Vandals, I'm Micah Hamilton.
Well, Zach, always an emotional day for those seniors coming into their last meet, game, match, whatever it may be. And our own Emily Bernil also getting honored as a senior on the swim and dive team. We appreciate everything she's done on the show, in the classroom, and in the pool.
Coming up next, big matchup here in Cowan Spectrum, Idaho versus Portland State. For Inside the Vandals, I'm Zach Kellogg.
And I'm Braden Kane.
We'll see you all next time.